So, last time, you guys continued following the directions given to you by Froyrai, heading westwards into the Boa-Track Mountains, entering into a section of them that the Gria around here refer to as the Dragon's Spine, with Prouk Hollis giving you a new foe of a green dragon by the name of Hurrickstram. You're able to fell the beast and take its hoard. However, after looting, the body of the dragon had, you could say, disappeared in your absence. In its place was a relatively large red-skinned naga with 4 arms. Revealing themselves to be called Raket Jaraja, you had a short conversation with them in which they were offering up a truce between the Naga and your group, with the main sticking point that you would no longer be intruding upon their operations throughout the lands, and that they would cause at least your group no further harm. Since you couldn't exactly turn a blind eye to their operations, especially since a lot of them deal with the not exactly fun emotions of others, even with their killing of people, you decided to decline the offer. And you could say you left in amicable relations, though it'd be hard to attack Raket Shiraja, as Drazenka saw his frame to be an illusion. With said body disappearing after the conversation, you continued on northwestward. Not after Drazenka and Edwin, having slept with the rest of the party, had another vision of being held in the night, and their wounds from dying to the dragon scarring over rather quickly. Heading into Emberclaw Refuge, you were allowed pretty clean entry, though were stopped on the way by a group of seemingly law enforcement of the Pardini lands. Making a note that one of the laws is the eradication of undead as well as vampires, they asked you to deal with one said vampire in Emberclaw Refuge who had set themselves up as their medic. Not accepting the task up front, you investigated the vampire as you did need some further healing from your revival, and met the vampire who seemed rather friendly. And not exactly going too deep into their reasons behind it, besides just needing it, the vampire did offer up blood donations to supplement the payments of the residents, as many treatments were rather expensive, and it is relatively difficult to get blood besides those who offer it, or you're going to be going against the law to take it. After licking your wounds and taking some more rest, you continued in deeper into the Dragon's Spine, eventually going up to Shadowrock Hollow, the birthplace of Owl. It was rather difficult to find at first, however, with Owl being from here, knew the proper paths to take, and you were able to enter into a canyon-like area. Tall, jagged mountains had cut within them houses, buildings, and establishments, though a new sight to Al and to everyone, because it's your first visit here, were the implementations of zip lines going up and down the mountainside to allow easier access to the different buildings at varying heights, as well as another large ice statue of Shiva in the center of the canyon. Many worshippers at its basin, as well as a staircase leading into a church underground, as many buildings here are just underground or in the mountains. You were also approached by several Gria, who greeted Al fondly, and a few Ronso that were also a new sight, who revered Drazenka as another sister. Seemingly with the statue that was a prominent display in the middle, it seems the worship of Shiva has come into the area. And I shall be right back.
Well, now, who are you? Who is your best friend of the village? Oh, we're going to find that out on time.
He's forgotten the name.
And are we better than them?
After meeting with those Rontos and Grioters, you made your way to the church in the centre and were able to find Al's parents, whose names he will tell you now.
You met with Rye and Drogden.
Along with Al's parents, you saw many others within the church. The most prominent figure, and very close to Al's parents, was a icicle-designed Naga, who revealed their name to be Fronwake. You were only able to share a few words before the familiar sound for Al's ears of that of a storm warning. Mostly coming from Stormscale Citadel, everyone was called to go inside. With little time for introduction, the parents of Al, one of them being the chief, Drogden, offered you all to stay within his abode to wait for the storm to blow over. Sadly, it's not a Winchester, and you're not going to go get a pint. As well as your group, Fronwake had an invitation extended as well. They would seem that Fronwake had been rather engrossed with the chieftains and jewelers' knowledge of the local area and magics, showing such adeptness as he helped form the stone around the windows to go down and basically make a shutter. And we ended off the session just as you entered into the chieftain's house. Stone steps echo into the halls as the flickering of fire atop candelabras accent the ceiling. The creaking of wood and the rumbling of stone can be heard both outside and inside the domicile. A nearby staircase leading up into the first floor of the house. Towards the west, you can see a sort of foyer waiting room with several sofas and soft cushions, as well as a table with several things to read and fiddle with. The door to the outside has been stoned over, which is to the south, though you do notice another door to the southwest that has a marking on the front of it, showing it to be the study and library. A door to the north leads into a much cleaner and open space. As you can see the countertops, it is a well-furnished kitchen with several lights. The movements of a serpent-like figure can be seen across the floor, as that is the direction where Fronwake went, heading eastwards shortly thereafter. Drogden and Rye brush their hands over their clothing as they remove dust from the rock. As they look over you, their smiles stay on to Al, as they had hardly any time to talk at the church. Drogden looks over everybody as he lands his eyes on everyone's boots. I'd appreciate it if everyone took off their footwear within here. Whilst we do have a Naga here, I'm not wanting the floors to be too scuffed.
Of course. Take off my boots.
Do you have cubbies for them or something?
You can place them under the stairs. There is a closet there.
Okay, well, I'll follow. Do that.
I'll follow. Yeah, I'll follow along with Zyron.
Rye will then speak up. You must have had a long and arduous journey across the mountains. I don't have food prepared, but I can offer you drinks if you follow us into the dining area.
Al, are you entirely sure these are your parents? They're very well mannered.
Yes, these are my parents. I'm well mannered. What are you trying to say?
Of course.
Rye moves to the countertop, lights a campfire underneath, and opens the lid of one of the hobs. Fires coming up, she places a kettle atop it. Picking out some cups, the clay clanks against the marble as she puts it on the side. Are we all having warm drinks, or is anyone wanting something cold?
Warm will do for me.
That's fine with me.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Cold for me, please. But thank you.
Rogon almost plops into one of the head chairs of the table, and whilst it would have scratched across the surface, underneath is a rather fluffy white rug. He rubs his chin as you can hear a sort of clearing of his throat. Cold drinks makes things easier, but I'll take the usual, honey. Aside from the comfortable chairs and the rug underneath, you see that there is a large cushion to the side of Drogden's chair. Scratched over several times and seemingly patched over, it seems like a new addition, though one that has been recently tended to.
It's a nice new cushion. Well, I say new. It's been used.
Yeah, it was new a few months ago. But you see, Nalgas aren't exactly built for chairs. They did request something like this, so I had an order put in.
Speaking of, where did they go?
Oh, Fronwake is a type of Naga that still needs water from time to time. He's most likely gone into the guest's bathroom to take a dip in the bath.
Zaire perks up at that.
If you're wanting similar baths, we do have several guest rooms on the first floor. Each one has its own ensuite.
Ow, your parents are loaded.
I mean, he is the chief of the village.
Rye then moves several cups onto a board and starts to move over as she notices Edwin just standing there.
Oh, my apologies. I thought you would want a hand. Actually,
Rye moves to the table and plants the cups next to everyone. And takes her seat at the other head of the table. So, Al! Drogdon heartily clasps Al's shoulder. Was expecting you coming home so early. I take it your trip went rather quick, or something happened?
It was quicker than I expected. I was expecting to stay out longer, but needs must. We have clues that you guys might know of the Hollow Lily. Edwin here is looking for one.
A Hollow Lily. I'm not too well versed in medicinal plants and their names. Do you know anything such as that, Rye? I don't recall hearing of a Hollow Lily. You might be better off asking one of the herbalists in the city. No, we'll have to wait till the storm passes for that.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of asking Talira. She probably is the one that would know more. But would you guys happen to know anything about... Is it the Dance of the Daisies?
Yeah, Dance of the Daisies.
That you're meant to ask the Ronso about.
I'm just seeing if these guys know anything about it.
Dance of the Daisies does not come to mind. There are a few martial art dances I know, but none by that name.
It's fair enough. While
Are you a
we're
fighter like I was?
What was that, Zalayan?
I said, are you a fighter like I was?
Not the same. I did try to instill some of my disciplines in her. Though she does take to certain aspects, we differ a bit in our styles.
Cool.
in other words, he can't turn into a dragon.
I do not share the same powers of Salaknir, no.
Oh.
From Wake slithers their way in and curls up onto the cushion, though still a bit upright to see her on the table.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the table. Enjoy your bath.
It was not so much a bath as it was a dousing. The mountainous air does like to dry me out at times.
Well, we're pretty high up. I'm quite surprised to see one of your kind around this area.
As you can see, Bramake kind of like gestures with his arms.
I am a different style of Naga. It is a bit easier to walk amongst the lands for my kind.
Indeed. We saw a Hark like you before, by the name of Shurusuke.
Surusuke did not have arms.
He was an Ice Naga, though.
He wasn't Ice Naga, yes.
Strauske. That was a name moving up amongst the ranks of Naga. I dare say I've had the pleasure of meeting him, though.
Possibly not. You and a few, well, one other Naga we've met seem to be much more anatomically formed, it seems.
It is a blessing from one of our ancestors. Do you know the tale of Yamfura?
First
Me?
time I've heard of it.
I was going to say no. Would we know it from song, or I take this as a bit too obscure?
You would not know it now.
No, I can't say I have.
I have told this tale to Sir Dragden and Rai before. I suppose we have the time, if you want me to spin its tale for you.
This is your
Sure.
house, Al. Would you like to hear the tale, or would you like to speak of something else? You may wish to speak of other things in the village, like the massive statue.
It can come in time. I'm interested in this story.
I'm interested as well.
Brunwake clears their throat as they sit up a bit straighter.
A long, long time ago, more than a millennia, the sun beat down on the shimmering scales of Yamfura, of the first Naga to venture onto the land. For millennia further, Her people had thrived in the deep, cool waters, their serpent forms gliding through the currents. But Yamfura, driven by an insatiable curiosity, had yearned for the sun-drenched plains and the whispering winds above. She emerged from the turquoise depths, her serpentine form adapting to the unfamiliar terrain. Her scales, once iridescent blue, now shimmered with the hues of the earth: ochre, emerald, and gold. Two strong arms, produced by her snake body, grabbed the earth to pull herself upwards, and standing tall atop her serpent's tail. The same posture all later Naga take on when exploring above the water. The land, a vibrant tapestry of colors and scents, was a stark contrast to the silent, dark depths she had known. Yamfura felt a thrill she had never experienced before, a sense of liberation and wonder. One day, she stumbled upon a clearing where a magnificent dragon, scales shimmering like rubies and emeralds, basked in the sun. The dragon, who introduced himself as Zira, seemed both curious and wary of the land-walking Naga. "You are the first of your kind to walk on land," Zyra said, his voice deep and rumbling. "Tell me, what have you chosen this path?" Yamfura recounted her journey, her voice filled with the wonder of discovery. Zira listened intently, his gaze never leaving her. He was enthralled by her tale, as much as he was intrigued by the possibility of forging an alliance with this unique creature. "I am the protector of these lands," Zira said, "and I sense a strong spirit within you. Perhaps we could work together to ensure the safety of both our people." Yamfura felt a surge of hope. She had been alone in this new world, and the thought of companionship and mutual protection was comforting. Zira, however, had another motive. He saw Yamfura a potential weapon, a powerful ally who could aid in his quest to conquer the land. He subtly manipulated her, instilling in her a sense of responsibility for the well-being of all creatures, including those who lived in the lands she had not yet seen. He spoke of the dangers that lurked beyond the familiar, the creatures that preyed on the innocent, weaving a tapestry of fear and paranoia. Yamfura, consumed by the responsibility he had placed upon her, agreed to help. She led Zira to her people, the Naga, who lived in the endless depths of the ocean. Zira, disguised as a benevolent protector, promised to shield the Naga from harm. But his true intentions were far more sinister. As Yamfura watched in horror, Zira unleashed his fury upon her people. His fire boiled the seas and burnt the Naga to soaked cinders. The trust she had placed in him, the bond she had forged, turned to ashes in her heart. Jungfrau, consumed by grief and betrayal, vowed revenge. She vowed to protect her people, even if it meant fighting against the very dragon who had promised her safety. Her quest for revenge became her life's purpose. She learned the ways of the land, mastering its secrets, her scales hardening for each battle she fought, becoming a testament to the pain she carried. The legend of the first land-walking Naga, the betrayer, and the vow for revenge became a tale passed down to hatchlings in certain waters. A reminder of the dangers of misplaced trust and the enduring power of vengeance. It is now said that those who adopt arms are the descendants of Jungfrau, the first walker. Your number of arms denotes your closeness to her kin. 2 are the true offspring. 4 are cousins, while those who house 6 or more are seen as bastard hatchlings.
So that would make you a direct offspring, no?
It is believed by many as such, yes.
Not my best statistic. Can I sense motive this just as a general vibe? Like, I'm not saying this is a tale or anything, but I'm just curious.
Can you be more specific?
Okay. What I'm trying to understand is this tale... The best way I can put it is this tale embellished in a way to make the Naga look better, or is it just as factual as I can understand it?
Okay, yeah. Roll says motive.
I'll do
Ugh.
the same.
I say it's not my best, I'm just thinking.
To be fair, at this point, there's probably no other version of the story that they tell themselves. So, they
Well, this
probably
is their version of the story, but again, like,
It's,
yeah.
yeah. Especially as this person seems to be, as Al just said, they're like a possible direct descendant, if that's the case. It's more about, like, yeah, does the arms thing actually seem true? But we'll find out.
Edwin, you don't feel any real sense of embellishment or any other real emotion coming from Fronwake besides that of a storyteller. Drazenka, whenever Fronwake spoke of Jungfra's name, he said so in kind of a revered manner, as if he himself either worships her or is a big fan of the tale. As when it comes down to the arms, he seems very proud, and it seems like he would believe that to be the truth.
Alright.
Certainly a very impressive tale. Does the name... Zyra, is that like a dragon of legend that we're aware of?
You can roll knowledge history.
Where were you 5 minutes ago? Alright.
Try to 8.
From all the research you've done in the past, you have seen no mention of a dragon named Sira.
Good to know. Sorry, Al. Pass back over.
excuse me.
Bless you, I guess. I'm not sure what the cough one is.
I don't think there is one for coughing.
Bless you anyway.
So obviously, like they did a knowledge check on the dragon. Is there a knowledge check that they could do on if Yofira is an actual Naga of legend?
It would
Could
be
try.
another history, even harder.
Yeah, I don't think, honestly, I could try it. The thing is, the best I can possibly get is a 29. I didn't get anything on a 25. Oh, sorry, no, Drazenka did help out, sorry. Could we bank that question for when we have better skills?
Yeah.
In all, like, I don't know if that's something we can do, but like, just a way of finding out more. Because I think that's a very good question. I just can't say that we're going to get much answers out of it now.
Could wait till we're at a library or something.
Libraries allow retries anyway.
I can't
Okay,
remember.
well,
Is this
Al?
this is the setting about Yoshkaik as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is this one.
Yes.
Yoshikaik's in this, yeah.
Yeah, fine. I didn't know. If it was
You've
a
not
different
yet
setting.
met Yoshkaik, and it seems like Yoshkaik is kind of like the head of the Naga army, but you've not really got too much information about him just yet.
No, it's always been
there's
like...
two big factions, which were Sroski and Yoskaik, as far as we know, but with Sroski dead, the rest have probably split even further. There might be someone else other than Yoskaik out there, but Yoskaik
we
was
don't-
one of the big ones that we've never met them, but we know the dragons are most likely after them.
Yeah, we don't know if they've fragmented or
Yeah,
reformed
don't really know
under.
what happened.
Yeah, it could be either. But no, Al, it's your thing. Do you want us to try it? Because I'll roll it for you if you want.
No. I'm happy for you to bank it.
Alright.
Just a general question. It was more a general question to the party than it was a actual out loud question.
Can I only look into when we have more resources?
Never know. My scholar friend might know a bit more.
Possibly. May I just ask a very quick question, if you don't mind? This is to both Rye, Drogden, and from Marque, if that's okay.
Well, we are here to discuss things. Go ahead.
When this storm stops, and actually, while I'm on the subject, how often do you get these storms? Because to be clear, this was is this like a normal storm or an ice storm?
This is a thunderstorm.
Okay. They seem quite destructive around here. Is this common? And I guess this is to the table, so Al, you might be able to say.
They happen every so often. Maybe more common than where you guys are from. But we always get warned before they come. Everyone from Stormscale Citadel. They normally send a messenger out to the local villages to let us know that there's a storm on its way.
How long do they typically last?
Hard to say. They vary. They can last no longer than a couple hours. Could last the rest of the day. You're safe inside your homes, though.
Ah, well, that leads me on to my other question. I just wanted to confirm, just to be very clear, your parents are the village leaders, aren't they? Like, Drogden's the chief, and Rye, like, govern as well, don't they?
Drogden's the village chief. My mother is just... Sorry, mother. But just a craftswoman. She probably helps Drogden come to some conclusions, though.
I just wanted to confirm if there were any common injuries that you may have, but it seems like you have this well under control. I just wanted to offer my services. Well, that does bring a very good point, Al. I'm sat next to you, so I'm just going to poke the necklace that you're wearing. Didn't you want to ask about that?
Oh, yeah. And she'll take off her necklace and show it. Ma, this is one of yours, right?
Yes, that shows many similarities to my work. It also has my name inscribed upon it. We've not had exactly visitors. We've sent out people to go trade with nearby areas. It's the paths and the settlements themselves. My jury has apparently been traveling far and wide.
Well, this one was found in a pretty run-down, broken village. It was currently being controlled by a dragon. It's just...
Is that perhaps Praukpolis you're speaking of?
Was that the place?
Yes,
I
that
can't
is the.
remember.
Yes, that's the. Is correct.
Edwin just nudging Al like,
Yeah.
I did hear amongst the other settlements that there were warnings of a large green dragon there, apparently called Herkstram or something.
Kirkstram. That's correct. Sounds right. Al just looks at Edwin. Is that right?
Drazenka has confirmed, but yes.
I was meaning to set up a group to go investigate. We've been very, very busy lately.
I can see. Building statues and habiting others.
It's not a very common thing for the village to do, but needs must. It seems it's getting more easy to find this place, at least for those following the steps of their deity.
I believe you're right. I mean, Drazenka here is also one of the followers of that ice lady. Shiva?
Shiva, yes.
That one. I
Well,
believe
Drazenka,
this
you have my word as for this chief. As long as you're within this settlement, your faith will find no danger here.
I am relieved to hear that, Sir Drockton.
Al, you
Speaking
were
of,
saying.
have they mentioned anything of why they came here in the first place?
The Ronso, they came from the Sateni lands, apparently on pilgrimage, following the whispers of the wind and the cold. It led them here, but ever since coming here, apparently they've not seen such as much as a snowflake. Seemingly wanting to harbor here until they see signs again. But it's been some time, months even.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, was it, Drazenka, that you heard something and actually saved us on the path that we were going to go on?
Well, both myself and Edwin got the warning, but that seemed like a situational warning. Also, on that note, have you seen anything on the movements of the dragons in the area?
Vi will then reply.
Oh.
Yes, I spend many a time outside, gazing upon the clouds and the stars to gain inspiration for my trinkets. It's been a more common occurrence to see shadows amongst the clouds. They are winged and tailed, some of rather gargantuan size. To my best guess, the dragons are moving. To what aim, I am unsure why. None have stopped here, though. Sadly.
2 great worms. I mean, the black dragon and the white dragon we saw fighting before were like worm size, weren't they? They were huge.
They
on
got
the way here.
gargantuan, yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't know who they were because it was just like a blurb. We didn't have a chance to look at them properly, I take it.
Black and white colossal dragons.
Yep.
Worms, yeah.
Yeah, we just didn't
That's what I
know.
wrote.
Yeah, because we didn't have any like names or anything for them, I don't think.
Correct.
We saw 2, as Al said, truly massive dragons fighting near here. I take it this hasn't overspilled into the village.
Thankfully, the canyon provides a lot of protection. We've survived many storms. We survived many fallouts from creatures in the skies.
I'm glad. You seem very well prepared. I'm not to give you use here, I think.
Whatever damage is dealt, we can repair as well.
Drazenka, when you came to the village, did you see anything about the statue? You've spoken between yourselves of how this place seems to attract the followers of Shiva. You seem to have quite the connection.
Didn't have time to notice much. We went to the church to find Sir Drockton and Rai, but we didn't exactly have much time to further discuss with the other Ronsos.
I think
you
after the
notice as
storm, it'd be
much as-
worth going to find them.
I believe so, and I do aim to make another visit there.
And Zaire, and your, I wouldn't say faith, but your newfound connection to time. Maybe we could have a look around and see what's going on with that.
Sure.
Apologies, we haven't
curious to
really
find
introduced
why
ourselves.
all the Shiva followers are ending up in the same place.
Sounds like they are on their own pilgrimage. I know why
Indeed.
I'm here.
Do we? Well, I suppose we do to an extent.
Not entirely because of her,
I
but
hope you know. You're the reason we're here.
I know part of why we're here.
it might be a coincidence, or they might be why we are here.
Yes, I'm getting the feeling that there are more than one reason. Ow, you haven't introduced yourselves us properly to your parents. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I forget we have to do that. You know who I am? The really tall, furry one. That's Drazenka. The really short, long-nosed, long-eared, bony one is Zairin. And the very pale one is Edwin.
Truly flattering as always.
And this is my beautiful mother, Rai.
will
And my gorgeous dad, Drockton.
Wake will look towards Drazenka.
Greetings, sister.
Greetings as well, Bratya. I do not wish to be too forward, but I'm curious in how you ended up in her graces.
Amongst
we
my travels amongst the land, I came across the mountains in time, trying to seek teachers that would bestow upon me the magics that can change the land to suit my needs better. The cold chill of the mountain pushed me at my back, stumbling and slithering. It eventually had me fall into this canyon. Sir Drogden and Rai saw fit to allow me to stay to lick my wounds. However, they had frosted over, even though the canyon is not so cold. Spying the statue made of ice, I saw fit to have faith that the lady pushed me here so that I would find my teachers, and I have.
Wake is right. Both me and a few of the other
casters within the canyon have been teaching the Naga our spells. You see, he can already make the shutters on our windows.
I don't mean any offence from Arcade, but we were told recently by, from your description, a cousin. Is it
armed Naga?
Indeed. Correct me if I'm wrong here, sorry. Raket Jar Ragar? It's been a very long time since I've said that.
Raket Jaraga.
Jaraga, that's it. Raket Jaraga. The gods do not favour your kind, which I always thought was a bit of a shame.
The seas are vast and deep. Sadly, from what I have gathered in your books and speaking with devout worshippers, there are very, very few deities that hold domain over waters. There is 2 that come to mind, and I've never heard their voices in the rippled waters, nor have I seen any sign of iconography for them.
Indeed. Then that is a shame. I'm not sure if Drazenka is going to say something, but for some reason I sense they are.
Well, that is part why I asked. This indeed sounds very much something like Our Lady would do, as she has guided myself in similar ways. It did strike me as, well, wrong when Raketcherarka described the deities not caring about Naga simply for them being their kind. So it does warm my heart to know that it is not always the case.
It is a possibility that since the Landwalkers revered dragons as deities, and that a dragon of old betrayed our kind, that this Raket Jaraga you speak of puts them in the same boat. One such deity attacks us, they all attack us, as it were.
I suppose that would make sense. He did seem to have an issue with the dragons as well, when we spoke with him. Leading from that to our earlier talk about Hörikström, however, we did deal with him, but Sragetjerarka mentioned that he may have resurrected him in some form. I cannot make any...
Jordan takes on quite a big smile and then clasps Al's shoulder again.
Ah, little Al, you found yourself a dragon, did ya?
That she did.
Indeed.
Sort of
Final
scratched
blow.
the side of her face. Yeah, I even took it down.
Al has become a great fighter.
Sounds like I
You should
won't
be proud.
need to be sending that unit over to Prakpolis then.
Nope.
Sorry.
Seems to be all sorted. But like they say, Raket Jaraga seemed to have revived it in some way. And then it left the area, so should be safe for the most part.
The area itself should be, but we do not know what actually happened to the corpse of the Drake.
We're told, however, its potency will be limited, at least for the time being, so if you do have plans for the area, I would enact them sooner rather than later.
There was no immediate plans outside of removing the dragon's presence from the area. It is a stopping point for some people on their path.
Oh, you never know. Al, maybe you make a little tavern over there called Dragon's Fall.
I'm not much into the tavern keeping side. I'd rather just stay on my feet.
I'm surprised. A house full of alcohol and you don't want to stay in it.
No, visit and drink.
I understand. Apologies, I've derailed us slightly. As Drazenka has mentioned, the statue, we seem to have danced around a little bit. When did that actually get here? From what you said from Marke, it was here before your arrival, correct? And it wasn't here, now, did you mention, when you left the village?
That's correct. It was not here. I was going to ask if it's been built or if it was just appeared overnight.
Indeed, it's quite the construction.
What are you asking about?
When did the statue turn up? And basically, 'cause you said it was pretty big, right? It was very tall
Yes.
and well built. Yeah. It was to ask because it wasn't here when Al left, and apparently it was here after From Market arrived. So it's just to establish when it was here.
The statue towards Lady Shiva was erected when the Ronso came a few months ago. It was quite a quick construction, though it seems they used mostly magic to make it, and it is yet to show any signs of melting.
I wonder if it resumed some sort of magical properties. Maybe you guys could take a look at it.
Indeed, myself and Drazenka and the rest of you are more than welcome to come. Maybe want you to look at it after the storm. Gonna throw a little bit of a pointed look at her.
Well, it already stood one boon as we went past it earlier today. And it looks towards where she probably left her sword and everything, like in the hallway or something.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of
Yes.
this, I'm assuming we mostly disarmed out, like, in the
Yeah.
hall.
It would be polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to bring, like, the 18 knives I have to the dinner table. I'm going to put that outside.
Even my spear was enchanted by the lady as I entered into her church.
So by that alone, there seems to be some connection to her. But we can take a further look when the storm eases up.
Indeed. I don't mean to volunteer our services out of hand, but Chief Drogden, Lady Rye, and Sir Framarke, do you require our services for anything while we're here? This is our companion's home village, and we would like to at least be helpful while we're here. I'm just going to look over at Zaire and Drazenka, kind of, is that okay?
Zaire will just nod at you.
Just gives a nod. Be happy to be of aid if we can while we're here.
I believe a lot of this aid will come in the form of cleaning up the area after the storm has concluded. Once we are protected in the canyon, it does like to batter us, especially if bolts of lightning find their way down here.
Well, they are at your disposal then. I can see you have quite the expansive kitchen. Our resident cook may be able to at least take some load off. Although Al has regularly told us of your cooking, Lady Rye.
I would always accept a hand in the kitchen, especially if you're able to teach me some new recipes from the farm.
I'll be more than happy to assist.
Indeed, she makes a very good Hatterwood haversack pie. Al, was there anything else you wanted to ask? I don't want to pry, I'm just... This is your house, your home. honestly surprised there aren't still some... You wouldn't have any baby drawings of Al, would you?
No. No, they're put away.
There's quite a lot of books behind us, and I can see you...
No, I have nothing further to discuss at the moment. I'm sure stuff will come up later on.
So the only thing that brought you back to our home was this hollow lily?
It's nice to come and see you guys again. You know, the mention of them saying that we need to go to Shadowrock Hollow, you know, brought some joy to me.
To my understanding, even without that little hint we got, we would have more than likely visited here anyway, for
Yeah.
our sake.
They're in the area, I couldn't not visit.
Indeed. Al has been quite animated about coming back here. When she could. In fact, Al has challenged several dragons in our travels I'm sure she'll be able to regale you with.
There is something else you meant to be asking about.
There is. I'm getting notes. It's a location. Sorry, it's been a while since we played.
I can copy and paste the wording. So, Froy Rye said this.
That's it, sorry. There's a location we need to know about if possible. Pulling out the map, because I think I canonically have it. Would you be able to tell us where the dragon's spine is?
You are currently
We're
in
on
it.
Then to the west of the dragon's spine, there is a location where the Vierarch will be. Whereabouts is it on here? Because to be clear, they weren't here, were they? There were Ronso here, but they weren't. They weren't Drazenka's tribe, were they? Or am I just misremembering that?
No, these guys weren't.
No.
I don't believe I've had any dealings with a Vizieret tribe. You'd be better off asking our scouts and traders.
I see. Thank you. There is a key and a map we need to do. Well, I say we need to acquire from yourselves in order to gain entry a bit easier to this location. As village chief, do you know anything about this?
Who bade you go look for a key and map here?
Edwin is going to pause because he's not sure if he could say. He knows the name.
We went to visit Brenna before we came here.
The dragon of the volcano. Quite a auspicious meeting.
Indeed, Brenna. They were after entering their sanctuary, we were told that a map and a key would be required.
A key and a map. Curiously vague, but most journeys start with vague hints. A key can be anything. A word, a rock, a ring, even a straight-up key. As for a
Indeed.
map, that's a lot more easier to identify. Scrawlings and drawings, or even ley lines in the ground. If these are to be items for the dragon's spine, it is probable they are connected to dragons of old.
Rye will then interject. We have many mundane keys and maps in our study, but you might be better suited to asking Talira, our scholar. Corin is also our newest guide for the Spine's tour. He might point you in a good direction.
If it is kept secret and safe as our hollow,
Drogden then tenses for a moment.
it may refer to the ancient dragon claw of Saloknir.
You mentioned that name before, saying that Au was blessed by Saloknir, or at least channels an aspect of them. Were they a yellow drake of old?
Saloknir was a Griya who had mastery over transformation.
Ah. Is there much difference then, I suppose? If they are a dragon and also a Griya?
Yes
even
and
realise.
no. You won't be able to ask many questions, however. Saloknir sacrificed themselves long ago to keep the Hollow safe.
Well, I can at least swear to you that I will not be giving any information out about this location you don't want. It's our trusted friend's home, and I do not wish to impede that.
So when did Corin become a guide, huh? Didn't struck me for much of the guide type.
He's a guide, not a protector. You know when it guides those that are a lot stronger than he across the spine. Go into our other sister locations to move around items and information. He became a guide a few months after you left, apparently taking his mind off of things and exploring the spine further, like he used to do with you.
It'd be good to catch up. It's been a while since I've seen him.
As for the claw, I cannot simply hand it over. It is our sacred relic, and the last remains of our founding Griya ancestor. While you are my offspring and I trust you, I cannot grant the trust of our forebears and our current lineage on nepotism alone. But ask Talira first, so that my worries are abated or enforced. We will speak on if you may hold this relic then.
I assure you, our intentions would never be to bring any some sort of form of danger to your home. We would
You'd
not
know
ask
I'd
for
put
any.
my life down for it.
We would not ask anything of that importance if it wasn't something we absolutely needed to do. And we will definitely look through the other options first.
It would be appreciated. And ow, slaying one dragon and meeting another. How many dragons have you met to this point now? You went towards the east, yes? I hear there's another dragon in that direction.
That's correct. What's his name? Karthurra?
You spent a year with the creature, and you do not know its name.
I met dragons before then. My memory isn't the greatest. But yes, Karthurra. I haven't exactly built up the courage to challenge him yet. It's quite a tremendous sight.
Well, I shall hope you have not insulted him to the point where I might not see you whole again.
I don't insult people. Right, guys?
Edwin chokes a little bit on his drink. Oh, of course not.
Only with every other breath.
Only sometimes intentionally.
As long as they
It
don't
does not
mention
seem
anything
like
about
she's
height.
changed much since leaving here, then. A bit more muscly.
Ah, you noticed.
Well, you're not exactly wearing a lot of clothes where you've been moving, dear.
He has, however,
Gets in
been
the way.
an instrumental help in keeping us alive and safe on our journey.
Al just starts slapping Edwin's back. What are you doing? You seem to be sucking up a lot at the moment. What do you want?
How much damage do I take? 'Cause you're like a lot stronger than I am.
It's
It
not an
is-
attack.
It is repeatedly quite firm slaps to the center of the back.
I'm just trying to extol your virtues in current company. Ow. And it's true. I can count on my hand the amount of times you saved us.
My, you must have a few hands then.
2, to be exact. In fact, you were instrumental as well in assisting, along with the rest of us, in dealing with a nearby plague.
Oh yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Though some of us were inflicted with said plague.
Yes. The point is, you've done a lot of good things, and I think you should not hold back on what you've done. Besides, what's the point in doing good things if you can't brag to your parents about it?
Exactly. See, Dad? I'm doing well.
Combating something you can't even see is quite the feat, yes. But I think you're still maybe a year or two away from taking my spot as chief. I'm doubtful you'd be caring for the paperwork anyway.
Ew. No. I need to find somebody else to do the paperwork for me.
Zarin has excellent handwriting.
It's one of the few things that I do really well.
You do the paperwork for me?
I never said that.
No, but he does.
You never said you didn't. I'll employ you.
Somehow
do.
that feels like winning.
You do many things very well, Siren.
Exactly. Apologies, present company. Al and Zarin are our
Problems?
I was going to call you rivals, but you're both extremely capable warriors of your own right.
You say warriors. I say slippery snake.
I'm gonna nudge Al at the mention of snake with the present company.
Ow! Oh. Slippery
You're
rat.
You're just salty that I'm winning.
Ahem.
There wasn't a storm going on. I'd take you outside.
While this is charming in its own way, I can feel Drazenka's eyes beginning to harden on you. So maybe now is the
I would
time that
just
we
look
don't
at
push
Drazenka
this.
and then probably look immediately down. I'm gonna check on the storm.
You say as all of the windows have shuttered.
Looks good to me.
She's gonna try and
Hmm,
stick
yes,
her
this
hand
is
on
a
the door
wall.
to feel it.
The door is rumbling.
Still going on.
Even wall. Well, from the sounds of it, this may be going on for some time. Thank you for the drinks, by the way. Your hospitality is much appreciated. Frankly, the idea of sitting on chairs is nice. We haven't been able to do it too much in the wilderness.
As have not I.
You're on a cushion, not a chair.
It has the
That's
same
a
principle.
joke.
Indeed.
Al
But
would recognize that. She's oblivious.
oh, this is very
Right, will
charming.
then stand up from her chair.
Well, if we are going to be stuck inside for so long, Drazenka, would you like to help me in starting dinner?
Certainly.
I'll get the plates.
We haven't even started cooking yet.
Please don't break another one.
I'm hungry.
Is there a place that I can?
No, you're not. Ah, you have that ring.
It's Mom's cooking. I'm always hungry for Mom's cooking.
Is there a place where I could go to get cleaned up from the road?
If you're fine with going in the same bath that Fredwalke is, you can go into that room there. If not, there are many bathrooms on the first floor if you wish to go up the stairs.
That's fine. I don't mind as long as everybody cleans up after themselves. It's not a big deal to me.
If you require it... Oh, he's gone.
What?
Actually, honestly, by the time I say it, you're pretty gone, so don't worry about it. It's really not an issue.
I was having difficulties with the door. I didn't want to open.
Don't touch my room.
There's no other rooms attached to this bathroom. I don't even know where your room is. You haven't given us a tour yet.
It's the one with the poster of My Chemical Romance on it.
Zarian's just going to have to be careful he doesn't drown in that bath because it's very big.
He just jams himself into a corner and then relaxes for a while.
Can gas swim off you if you want.
What's that?
Can gas swim on you if you want.
Oh. Just noodling around under the water like a shark.
Edwin is typing.
Oh, it was just saying what I'm going to do while we're waiting. It's not important.
As Al is preoccupied with the food, Drogdon's going to sneak a book from the shelf and show Edwin some baby pictures.
Incredible. How old were they here?
This one says she was 2.
2. Oh. Gorgeous.
I think I made her first axe too heavy.
Oh, well, it seems to have stood her in good stead. What is that made of? Iron? Oh. They grow up so fast.
It was a composite of iron and salt just to make it a bit lighter.
Oh! Did Lady Rye make that for her?
No. The mother doesn't really do crafts and things like this.
Oh, so you made it?
Yes, I did help with one of the blacksmiths in town.
That's very endearing.
Corin actually makes some weapons when he's not being a guide.
Oh.
I've actually got a drawing that we made of them two fumbling around in the mountains. How you can easily hear them.
To be clear, this isn't when they were older, was it?
This one was when they were 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, it's a good age.
Al's going to jump over the table and try and grab the book. Stop it! No!
Drogo just holds the book up.
Is that a...
How much taller is
a
he
picture?
than me?
It's your father.
Yeah, he's definitely taller than me.
Ow, is that a
Starts
picture of you
climbing
in a
up his leg.
sand pit somewhere in the mountains?
No!
I must say, whoever drew these are very good at this.
Don't worry about it. Give it here. No.
Your father isn't trying too hard to keep it away. You can get it off his hands.
Al, have I told you I have a fantastic memory and the ability to draw?
No.
Well, whilst dinner is being cooked, I think I shall resign myself to the study.
And Wake slithers through the dining room and out the door to the foyer.
Or probably spend some time with Chief Drogden, just... Yeah, doing the best he can, really. The kitchen has enough people in it that A, Edwin's bad at cooking, and B, I don't want to be in the way.
While we're cooking, Drazenka's also gonna like talk with Rye about how hasn't changed a bit.
Not even like a tiny
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, not even a little. Not from like physical capabilities, but like as a person necessarily. Getting
And,
some childhood stories. Hopefully.
Me and Drogden are going to pull out Childhood Drawings Volume 2 from where it's been so they can't steal it.
Shows
Yeah.
you the first clay pot that Al forged in school.
While Edwin's doing that, Al's probably trying to fight her point with Drazenka like, no, I've changed. I actually listen to people now rather than just bite them.
Don't argue with that.
I'm not as short-tempered.
There was bad
Where's-
before, but there's still ways to go.
I was going to say somewhere Zyron's ears ping at the idea that not short-tempered. How is the food going, ladies? Do you wish to have any assistance? I can probably wash plates or something.
Oh, where do I fuck this up? Mid.
Do I have refreshing cook? I have every skill under the fucking sun. I do, but it's not trained. So, probably best not.
Time will pass as Ryan and Drazenka make food, and Al runs around trying to hide all the embarrassing stuff in her house. Eventually, dinner is served as the room is filled with steam and the smell of a very enticing meal. Party plates are given to everyone, and even more platters in the middle of the table to take extras. Are you discussing anything over dinner, or are we going to go to everyone finding rooms upstairs?
Ow is just tucking into her food. It's been a while since she's had it.
Yep, same.
Making conversation, but I don't think anything like important.
Sorry, I do apologise. I had to pull my cat out through the window because he just decided not to jump. What's going on?
You're eating, and I'm asking if you're going to discuss anything in particular over dinner.
No, nothing poignant. I think we've hit the majority of our topics. You did say there was something we need to ask about Shadowrock Hollow. I think you meant the key and the map, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, that is fine. The only thing I would ask then is just at some point, maybe towards sort of the end of dinner. Sorry, the name of the dragon shifter. What was the actual pronunciation of it?
Jasta.
Pronunciation of what, sorry?
The high-end dragon shifter that basically sacrificed himself for the village.
Soloknir. I will get you
Soloknir.
the spelling.
Please, just for my own notes, if I'm going to refer back to it.
There you go.
Okay, Soloknir. I take it the Dragon Claw of Soloknir is some kind of village relic, and you keep it in a chapel or reliquary of some kind?
It's protected by Dad. He keeps it safe. Even I don't know where it is.
I
It
apologise.
is
If that's...
the sacred relic of our settlement. We have others that I don't know what to say where they are, and I should also not relinquish where I'm hiding the claw. Its location is only known to me and a few others, and to the next chief if there is to be one.
I apologise if my question was insensitive, it was just curiosity.
It was not. It was just your curiosity being piqued.
Indeed. Well, if this is the key we seek, and I hope it isn't, for simply the sake of keeping everything in order, I wish to know it may be, but I understand. This is part of your culture and your traditions. At the mention of the claw, does From Arcade perk up at all at the idea of maybe it's been shared? Because I don't know if we know this, and this is a bit of a stab in the dark, and I apologise if I am just being a bit cynical here.
Mm.
Do Naga need biological matter to evolve? Because they said that with Hurikstrom, they need them alive to pass on their abilities. So would, if, for example, they got the Dragon Claw of Sloknir, would that allow them to evolve further? Like, do they need to somehow ingest or touch biological matter of a powerful creature to gain their abilities or not?
You have no real idea of how Nagas evolve.
That's fair. Alright, it was just a thought.
Some
I'll
of
leave that
them
be.
have been forcing evolution via magic and magical ingredients, but the natural form you don't know. It might just be how anything else evolves, probably just at a faster rate.
Okay, that's fine. I was just going to ask if there's anything I can roll to try and figure out if that could be a possible catalyst, but if I wouldn't know, that's not a problem. It was just a thought.
The only thing that would come up here is it'd be rolling sense motive to see if Fronwake has any reaction to the core being talked about.
I could, but my roll is terrible. But I will do. Because... Try.
Fronwake's demeanor doesn't seem to shift at all when the claw is mentioned, no.
Okay, that was it. That's all I wanted to ask.
Alright, as you finish up your meals, Rai will escort you all upstairs.
Thank you, Lady Rai. Your meal and Drazenka was lovely.
Edwin just
I'm
closes
stuck
the
on the
door.
door. Stuck on the door.
Excuse me.
That's okay.
Here is our first guest's room. And as Geraldon explained, all of the guests' room do have a ensuite with all of the necessities the guests require when they stay here.
Zyron, I think this may be your abode for this evening, unless you have protest.
I'm fine. I'm tired. I'll take whichever one I'm given.
It's more just because it has a bath. I thought you'd be quite excited.
They all do. That was mentioned earlier. All of the guest bedrooms have an ensuite. They just said that.
I simply meant that you could get in it sooner, but I apologise if I wasn't clear.
I mean, I did already have a bath. I don't think I need another one. Do I?
No, that
No.
wasn't what I was saying.
This guest room has both an adjoining study as well as another ensuite with, I believe, our second biggest bath on the first floor.
Ah, well, maybe I spoke too soon.
I mean, it's got a study, Edwin. That one's definitely for you.
You never know.
There's also a cot. We did have a mother and child in this room before. No, obviously you don't need to use the cot.
Peeking into all the rooms as we're going through them.
This is one of our more confined rooms, though it does have a desk to study at and an adjoining closet if you were to be staying here for a longer period to have your clothing all neatly stuck away. It does, however, only have a wash basin.
Well, truth be told, I could take any of these rooms. Do either of you have a preference? Apologies, Ira, I thought you would take the first, but there are certainly options here. And maybe
I'm okay with any of them.
I have no preference either way.
Well, I will be a little bit selfish here, then I will take the study room, if that's the case.
We
I would
do
like to
have
just-
4 other rooms if you wish to look at those.
I think, for me, I have my eye on something already.
I mean, we're pretty good with what you've shown us already, but I mean, a tour of the house would be nice.
Indeed. Zyron, may I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Just for a
sure. What's
moment.
up?
How is your clock? Ever since you got it back working, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it repaired. I'll pull it out and check on it, and
It's still ticking away.
it seems fine so far.
Good. That was all.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I'm just glad you have what you wanted.
This room is the only one that lacks an ensuite, though down the hall it does have its own bathroom, one of the larger ones. Here is a general living area for the guests. There is a play area for younglings, as well as many books that you can read atop the sofas.
Ah, Drogden did show me a picture of Ow and that earlier.
What?
And lastly, we have our sibling quarters here, for those who wish to be close to those that are of the same parents. They have a adjoining ensuite.
Do you get many visitors here, Lady Rye? This is quite the choice.
Yes, as the chief's domicile, we do have many meetings here, and if they go on for long, that storms may forestall a return to their own homes. They often need to stay the night. The first floor has been extended every so often to accommodate these needs.
I understand. I just simply have a very nice home. That was all.
Thank you. We crafted it ourselves with the magics of the mountains.
Ah, do you use the... Slightly out of character question. Is there like a word for not just magic, but is there, you know, a weave or an arcana, or is it just magic in this world?
Pretty much just magic.
Alright. I see. Are you a wielder of magic yourself, Lady Rare?
I am not too adept at many forms, though I do know the general usage for repairs and changing of our house.
I see. Apologies, I'm just curious. There we go again.
Al, are you going to be staying in one of the guest rooms, or are you going to be staying in your room, or what?
She would have a room downstairs, but it's up to her if she wants to use it still.
Yeah.
Yes, I will
Choose to
retire
see-
to my own room.
Do you just go and see Gerard Ney, the centaur lead singer of My Chemical Romance?
How much did Dad tell you?
There were a lot of notes. Lot of notes. They love you a lot.
And it's a shame they have to die for her to become a protagonist.
What? Stop that. Drazenka, divine intervention, right now. Please. Just now. Stop that. Blanked. I'll see how it is. I'll see.
She's got nothing from her lady.
Mm-hmm.
Not for this.
Not for this.
I hope your
Yes.
stay is comfortable, and hope evermore that the thunderstorm stops on the morrow so that you may continue your journey. I would love for you to stay here longer, Al.
I would like to spend more time here as well, but needs must. We're on a quest.
In all fairness, so this is a while ago now, but you said that we would get some kind of indication if time was an issue. We haven't had that yet, or have I missed it?
You have not.
If you want to stay here, you can. We're very close to our objective.
We're close,
And
but we
truth be
don't
told-
have location or the definite information yet.
Well, there's still plenty to look into.
Exactly.
It will take some time.
And it's not just what I'm looking for here. That's what all of you are looking for here. As someone who was sent a vision from an ice goddess to look for a flower, sometimes being at home is one of the greatest magics you can have. So take as much time as you want.
I'll think on it. Shall we retire for the
understand.
night?
Indeed, I sense books. Goodbye. Meow.
Your collection of trinkets, toys, and weapons are still in your closet, Al.
I will probably take a few moments to just not necessarily play with the toys, but just check out all of the toys and weapons that she's got.
Make sure they're still there, right? They're okay. Like, it's gotta be done.
They've been reorganized. It's not how...
I was going to start reorganizing it the way she liked it before.
Cute.
It seems Zairin takes the room that was offered to him by Edwin.
I don't. It was just the first one, and it doesn't really matter to me where I stay. I just wanted to see the rest of the house.
It was nice.
As everyone settles in for the night, you can hear the muffled sound of heavy rain and the cracking of thunder every so often. As everyone goes to sleep, I need Drazenka and Edwin give me a will save, please.
No. Okay, there's... Alright. It was good for once. Just like all the fucking fawn that's here behind me. I need help. Drazenka, send me your willpower.
I've been doing it, but it's only like for 1 minute at a time.
I will be increasing my will save soon. I need to. They've had to turn out the lights.
As everyone sleeps, Drazenka and Edwin, your dreams shift from happy memories and collections of such into a bit more of a dismal sight. The darkness of your mind shifts into a blue mist. Your body comes cold and almost cracking, as if within a winter tundra. You can hear the crunching of snow underfoot as someone walks towards you. However, as you see a blue silhouette, its form starts to shake and crack, parts of it falling away from head to toe. And before it even reaches you, the entire body is destroyed, leaving a trail of debris in the snow. As you awaken from the nightmare, you see all of the candles have been doused out from the candelabra. And as you breathe out, a faint mist can be seen escaping your mouths.
G, do you want to go first?
Edwin probably has a stronger reaction.
Possibly, but I am going to pass over because I do talk a lot. So, if you'd like to, you can go first.
I mean, imagine she like it sits up immediately, tries to like gauge like what time it might be, but it's probably impossible for her. And then take like stock of herself and if anything has changed.
As far as you can tell across your body, nothing has changed.
She'll probably not leave because I wouldn't really like accept anyone else to be affected. She's just staying in her room. Start doing a prayer for Shiva just to get some kind of connection going, but that's about it.
Edwin?
We'll probably shoot up because I definitely weren't expecting that. We didn't see the figure, but is there any way I could try and establish if it was Shiva or not? Because the description sounds very similar.
It'll be down to your own thoughts.
I think I'm gonna sort of stumble out of bed, get some kind of get the iron torch, turn it on, just to give them some light, 'cause otherwise they can't see, and try at least. And they're not being quiet about this. Actually, no, they are in someone else's house. They will try. They will try and stealth, at least just out of, you know, being courteous.
Mm-hmm.
To try and... Do I know where Drazenka is?
Would
what
most
their
likely
rooms
have
in?
told each other where you're staying.
Yeah, would have liked seeing that you went to the study. Zion went to the top room. Would have like made a point to that she's in the room down south, further south, the end of this hallway. Just so we're in the same area.
That makes sense. They are going to knock on your door.
Just like you can hear it.
Edwin. Did something
How'd you-
happen?
How do you know it's me?
I opened the door.
Shit, sorry. Did you just see that? The figure crumbling?
Yes, you as well?
Kind of throws the hands up. Not in like almost exasperation, not frustration of Drazenka, just a kind of
Please come in.
yeah.
I suppose.
Drazenka, I need to ask you a very quick question before we do this, whatever this may be. Al and Zyron are completely unaffected by this. Untouched. Why?
I haven't gone to ask, but it seems to be.
Drazenka, it's no secret that you are deepening your connection with Shiva. And they've told you nothing.
Nothing concrete, no.
Then how am I supposed to make sense of this? Is this the statue? Is this our quest? Is this...
Well, you have been feeling her presence even before the statue.
But why? I'm not... You're...
That's
You
it,
mean-
because you accepted her all the way back in Asterilia. Is my assumption, anyway.
I drank... I drank from a goblet. Does that mean... You tell me. Cleric of Shiva, you tell me.
It is as I said. I imagine that was a gift from her, and you accepted it. And she deemed you as someone worthy to keep a lookout for.
Then what does this mean? I'm going to look... we can look past... You know how I feel about the gods. Right now, that isn't the problem. We know she sent us visions before about disaster. What does that mean? That seems quite ominous, does it not, to you?
It was unsettling, I won't deny that.
Then... I mean no offense, Drazenka, but maybe you're not quite as well read as I am, but you have a lot more wisdom in the teachings of the word. Between us, can we at least look into it? I would hate to be here and Al's... I know we had a bit of fun downstairs, but this is Al's home. It's like being back in Hatterwood and finding out that your guardian deity is going to explode and we don't know what to tell them. Maybe it isn't that. I don't know. I
do not believe it is something quite that. If anything, it... Well, we were talking about time earlier. Be related to that. We could share these visions with the Bronzos who came here. If they are devoted to her as I am. They might have their own insights. Especially if they are on their own pilgrimage, maybe perhaps they have visions and signs that they have seen that might correlate our experiences. Different as our goals might be.
Fine. Do that then. I just think I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I just wish you knew more. Maybe that's the wrong way of saying it, but we're like a body. Owl's our muscle. Siren's our sinews. I'm a brain, but you're a heart. It's impossible to function without you, as it's impossible to function without any of us. One of these days, and I know it might be maybe you can't give us one, I'd just like a straight answer. You can lie about it if you like. Everything just seems so vague.
I wish I could, Edwin, I truly do. It pains me just as much to not have the answer of what my lady wants from us, from me.
And unfortunately, I need to inject a little note of doubt here. I would like to look Drazenka in the eyes at this point. Are you absolutely sure the visions you're getting are from Shiva? From both of us? There are entities in this world powerful enough to be gods in their own right, in their own areas.
I have never had the reason to doubt that. She has brought me this far.
Then I envy that. I envy that conviction. But, you're right. This isn't going to fix itself tonight.
I'm sorry, I can't help you more, Edwin.
You don't... I'm sorry, that was too much. Just think I know you're doing the best you can. You're my friend. And I trust you with my life as I trust Zyre and Al.
Feelings mutual. And believe it or not, I have been where you are, in a way.
What do you mean?
Being unsure of what's happening, of how to process it. Do you remember when I first came to Hatterwood?
Vaguely. It's been a long time ago, but I do remember you being staggering out the wilderness.
Indeed, it was very disorienting. I was a child, lost in a snowstorm, and suddenly surrounded by strangers. Being where I am with my faith was not an easy path by any means.
Then may I ask you, Drazenka, where did you enter that snowstorm? You came out of it at Hatterwood, but where did you go into it?
I did not go into it. The mountains are treacherous, the weather is unpredictable. I wasn't even far from my tribe. I was just around the corner, essentially gathering, when suddenly could not see my hand in front of my face. Came
Okay.
suddenly, it came without a warning. I did not choose to end up in Hatherwood, but
Glad you
as
did.
I learned, well, I am as well.
I'm sure the sister did. I'm sure that Zyron and Al did. Zyron's father, I'm sure, even did too, especially with your connection.
I'm glad if I was able to be of any support or help to the residents. And it has become a home for me as well.
Drazenka, sometimes I think you underestimate your own importance. As do all of you, frankly, but you're the worst.
You speak sometimes like you haven't just cured an entire village of an extremely contagious disease.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a brain. I think about things. The three of you have carried me here. Let's not lie about it. I'm not a fighter. I never have been. Without the three of you, I'd be dead somewhere, probably in Prentice's cavern. Let's be honest. It may be even more than that. Way back. And sometimes I feel like maybe I put too much pressure on all of you. Like overworking our muscles, snapping our tendons, or causing our heart to burst. But at the end of the day, I don't think that that's the case. We're very strong people.
All of us are here because we choose to be Edwin.
I know. I'm just very proud of you. All of you. And I do say it's loud enough that if someone happened to be awake, they can hear it.
They are not.
That may mean nothing. But I am. What would be nice is just a little bit of understanding. And I understand that, unfortunately, that's not how it works, is it? Faith is a belief. It's not a formula. It's not how blood works. It's not how your bones are structured. It's not how your skin knits itself together in tiny little pieces.
Well, faith is a belief, yes. It does not have to be, nor should it be blind. It can be based on something concrete and real.
Then Drazenka, maybe not today, but someday, and I will just pop out of the room. It would just be nice to know what that was.
That wasn't there before. She just kind of looks past Edwin and walks to the hallway.
What?
Do you see?
The footsteps.
Yes.
Shit! And he's gonna run.
Walking into
Zyron.
hallways, you'll see frosted footsteps on the marble flooring. Going towards Zyron's door, the handle is frosted over and immovable.
Everyone's gonna hammer on the door. Zyron!
Zyron?
Not you.
I don't have my weapons.
Interesting
pull
bunch of
Where's Static?
static.
The storm!
Hello,
Got
Can
him!
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you, just
now
a
we
weird
can.
static going on.
Sorry.
I will pull my lockpicks if... To be
I mean,
fair, does Zyron
probably.
wake up?
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't seem to.
You try and put your lockpicks through the lock, but the keyhole just has a block of ice in it.
Drazenka, can you... I can't do anything about this.
Meld it with magic. Guess I'll first just try elemental orbit. Fire.
Nothing comes out when you try to cast a spell.
What?
What? Seeing this happen.
Like, she's done elemental orb before, so you just see her go through the motions and nothing happens, and she just kind of looks at her own hand like, what?
Could I spellcraft to see... I have a suspicion of what this is, but I hope it isn't.
What are you trying to spellcraft?
Is this a case of Drazenka can't cast because their deity is not allowing them to cast?
You wouldn't know.
Then I don't know. What is... Why?
I don't know.
Shit. Ow! They're gonna start heading towards down at the very least.
Moving out into the hallway where the staircase is. The staircase is completely frosted over as a large glacier goes from floor to ceiling.
While he was trying to run away, I'm just gonna try to break it with strength, I guess.
I was literally about to say, Drazenka, break the lock as soon as I see that.
The door doesn't move at all.
Can we
That's
hear...
a little bit louder. Is that something I might be able to perceive?
No.
Okay.
What is this? Drazenka, we have to check on out. We have to come back.
Oh, we can't go downstairs.
Is this normal?
I don't know.
The northern door's locked. We have to go. Shit. Footsteps. How was downstairs? Why were there more footsteps this way?
Edwin, as you move into that room, you'll see on the southern desk that there is a book opened up.
That one.
Yes.
Drazenka, there's something over here.
Drazenka cannot see it.
What is it?
Look back. The book. It's there. I'm going to put a hand on it.
Drazenka like opens her mouth, but then instead, well, what does it say?
No idea. Shit.
Can you read it?
Try. Please make sure that's it. Please.
Looking at the book, it is opened up onto a double page. The only left side has anything on it, as it is a bunch of scribblings and drawings, which look to be landmarks as well as a path. But it goes off onto the right page, but doesn't continue.
Drazenka, it's the map. It's the map. Why is this here? It wasn't here before. Spinning around with it. Why? If I hold the book up, does Drazenka actually see the book?
Nope. You're just like holding your hands up to her.
kind of, she's not saying anything about that she can't see it. Just like, kind of looks into the space and I'm not great with maps. Can you see where it leads?
Could I just
So you
transcribe it
recognize
onto?
landmarks?
Yeah, could I transcribe it onto our map?
Yeah. You don't
Here.
know from the whole map itself where it would be because it's a bit too zoomed in.
But this is. Would I be able to tell if this is the dragon's spine at all?
You've never been here before. You'd have to ask someone who's local.
Ow, we need to find out this. It's like a micro map. It's the immediate area. I'm worried about Siren. I think we need to keep going. Why the footsteps melted?
They're frosted, not melted.
Oh, I thought it was melted. Sorry.
Drazenka, as you enter that room, you'll see on the second southwestern desk that there is a book that is opened.
Go over and take a look.
Whilst the left page is blank, the right page has scrawlings of landmarks and a path. Though it seems like it leads in from the left side, but there's nothing there.
This might be the second half of yours.
If we hold up the book versus, like, if Drazenka tells me about what it is, can we transcribe both sides onto the map at least?
You can scroll them down.
Yeah. Does this make sense? The left and the right. I think my map didn't go as far as yours. Yours is further.
It does expand it.
There's the map. But why?
This is what we were looking for.
It is, but
As you two move to leave the room, Edwin, you will bash your arm on the frame of the door, and Drazenka will stub her toe on the leg of the bed. As you both wince in pain, you wake up in your separate beds.
Evan shoots up as if they were moving around, like fully gasping.
Yeah, Drazenka like wakes up with a start.
Siren!
And immediately Drazenka casts like this magical hygiene just to see if magic works.
Magic works. Zion can definitely hear Edwin being very loud at your door.
What's going on, Edwin?
Edwin, are you alright, Siren? You sound pained.
You started the hairs off my shoulder. What? Huh?
Edwin is fully like running over, checking eyes, like the like full blown eyes, ears, mouth, pulse.
Zyron's just fully confused, and his heart rate is higher than normal, and blood pressure is higher than normal because you just scared the crap out of him.
You seem stressed. What happened?
You woke me up.
Thank goodness you're okay.
Should I not be?
No. Sorry. A nightmare of some kind. Vivid. My apologies, Sarah. That's not good of me.
Okay.
Good night.
What time is it?
It'd be morning.
It's alright.
Probably a bit early in the morning for you, but
I might as well get up.
Is everything alright with Siren?
So you remember that as well?
Yes. Yes.
Edwin kind of licks her lips and not a. It's concern, fear, very close. Seems okay. I hope Al is the. Wait, we haven't checked the stairs.
I looked, the stairs are open.
Thank you.
I do not think anyone else was in any danger. That was just keep us from veering.
Then we have a map, at least.
I mean, if you
Yes.
look at your world map, the scrolling isn't there anymore.
Yes, that is what I was trying. You have better memory and better craft skills than I do.
Can I try and?
Drazenka's like trying to like draw what she remembers of the map, but her cartography sucks.
Siren, seeing them walk past, unfortunately I can't explain right this moment, but can I ask you a favor?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I need you to write on the map as clearly as you can. Your hands are steadier than mine. The best we have. And I'll lay the map out on like a table somewhere. And at least try and, with Drazenka, remember what you saw.
I mean, you'd be better off writing it on a blank piece of paper than the map.
Okay, is it like really high detail? Okay, fine. We'll
Yes,
do that.
it's,
I
it's
have
very
paper.
zoomed in. The world map is very zoomed out.
That's fine.
It's like a specific area.
I genuinely do have ink paper, like, ink pen, sorry, and I think I have one sheet of spare paper. So, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, a whole ass journal, I guess.
I'll take
For
the,
that.
I just have a separate sheet if you want it, but I will ask Siren because they do have better control of, like, a pen than I do. Right up.
Sure. Do I need to make any sort of checks for this?
As you three try and pen down from memory what you saw in the books, it's going to take some time. Probably 10 minutes, as we will take our break here.
E.
No worries.
are-
I'm worried about how, but goddamn.
And I'll be back.
Oh, sounds are wrong.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Alright. Zaire and Edwin and Drazenka can scroll what two of them have from memory onto a piece of parchment. What do you do after that?
I think the first thing that Edwin does is take a few steps away from Drazenka.
She's cursed.
No, just a slight distance. That's all.
So, where did you guys get this information?
Honestly, Siren,
We had
it's a
a
dream.
yes.
So, as much as I would like to expand or maybe compound on this information, we can't.
Probably go downstairs and greet our hosts and see if ours will as well.
Indeed. Siren, if you don't mind stopping banging, we can move on.
Stopping what?
You seem to be banging and crashing around over there for a little bit.
Oh,
All of those background effects.
my dog is wanting to play.
Boy, I want some butt slaps.
Is he able to control a character sheet or a token?
No, he is not.
Well, then he can't play.
That's not the kind of play that he wants. So,
You don't know. You don't ask him.
I mean, he brought me his rope, so I assume that's what he wants to do.
Oh, it's because you didn't buy any rope in your character creation.
I'm pretty sure I did. I bought one of the character or the kits, the adventuring kits. I'm pretty sure it comes with rope.
Yeah, we can head downstairs. We'll take it not a silly distance from Drazenka, but not shoulder to shoulder.
Drazenka
Morning.
kind of stepped outside waiting for Edwin to leave the room before closing the door.
If that's the case, they'll just move further forward. They're not inconsiderate. They're just keeping a bit of space.
How is everyone this morning?
Hide as shit. Dreams, no. Sorry.
I'm not with you guys.
Well rested and ready for the storm to stop.
It's still going?
I can hear a bit of it. Seems like it might be on the tail end.
That's good. Anybody heard from Al? I know it's super early.
No doubt she'll be running for breakfast. It's her favorite meal of the day.
Did somebody say breakfast?
Not for you.
My house.
I'm pretty sure this is your mom and dad's house.
It's her house too.
What's for breakfast?
Eggs, waffles, pancakes, and sausage.
Extra serving of sausage, please.
You know, for someone who doesn't want to contribute, you're very happy to ask for extras. I'll be in the sink. They roll up the sleeves as if they're doing surgery, but they're just washing plates.
Do you have honey or syrup?
There is a head-sized container with a hand grip full of syrup.
Excellent. I'll start helping bring stuff to the table.
Yeah, I'll help with that as well.
Anybody who cares to notice sees that Siren places the syrup directly next to his plate.
Sweet tooth there, Siren.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, of course not. Just a thought.
I trust everybody slept well. The beds are probably a lot more comfortable than the rocky mountain beds we have.
Slept
think
like
I
a
was in the-
baby. If only for
I
2
think I was
hours,
in
but
the
slept like a
sleep
baby.
of my life until I was woken up very abruptly this morning.
My apologies.
Ah.
I had a very poor nightmare. I thought there was something going on with Siren, so I went to go and check on him. I am going to take the once per day. 18 it is.
Let's see if I can get a sense motive off to actually work. I am 100% expecting this to fail.
Entirely a lie.
No, it's more
Yep,
just
that
a
tracks.
just a misrepresentation of truth.
Well, it seems like he was just in a dire need of sugar.
And everybody looks over, and I have just a massive pile of waffles on my plate that are just dripping in syrup.
Zahiran, your blood pressure.
Oh.
So it's fine. We don't really have chance for treats on the road, so.
Suppose.
Like, you mentioned that there's this huge container of syrup, and it's like a quarter of the way gone. And I'll pass it around to the next person.
I will look over at Zaren's plate. It's not nearly enough sausages on that plate. And just start piling some on.
They're under the syrup.
You need more. See how thin you are? Edwin, you too. You're very thin. You need more meat.
Nutritionally balanced wise, this is a perfect. But stop. That's a lot of sauce. Ah.
No, take another one.
Mm.
That's what
Ow.
my dad taught me. Lots of protein.
Ow, you have the density of a rock. Please stop.
Gotta maintain.
Zayn
Fine.
proceeds to dip every article of food into the syrup and eat it.
I would like to sleight of hand my. Oh God, I'm going to. I'm gonna try. No, I'm not. I'm gonna. It's just doomed to failure. I'll eat
It's
them.
still funny. Do it anyways.
You're not wrong. Trying to sleight of hand back. That's a 6.
One time Zaire is perceptive. Only
When it matters. Yes.
Hey, that was already on your plate. Put it back.
Yeah. At the defense.
Mrs. Drink out.
Did you just bring him in? Well, I mean, he's technically in this world.
It's true.
Somewhere. You just won't hear him.
What do you mean? Drink!
So then. I must ask, this storm seems to be unnaturally long.
Yeah, it's natural around these parts. We've had storms that's lasted 3 days.
3 days. Ugh. Well, I hate to be a pain, but I was enlightened with something last night. There was definitely a glance across the table, but that's all it is.
Enlightened
need
with
to go-
what?
Maybe the term is in Iceland. Or in Frozen. We may need to leave a little bit sooner than I hoped.
Why would that be?
Well, you are well familiar with the area. Finn, would you mind showing her?
Of course, I will give over the more detailed map. Now, this may be of benefit to you.
You're not going to make me read, are you? I don't like reading.
I'll help you, but it would be beneficial.
Sure.
There's no text. That's what you're worried about. It is a map.
Oh,
Indeed, just markers.
why didn't you say so?
Well, what? Never mind.
Indeed. Let's just have a look. What do you mean, ow, eat? Ow is drink. Ow is also drink.
Yeah, but alcohol instead
It's
of
forcing
potion.
somebody else to do it. It's the imperative.
If you show the map to Al, she does not recognize it.
Nope, not a clue. Delira might know.
Yes, your scholar and their guide. Is it sorry, is it Carleon or
Corin!
Corin? Yeah. Corin. Are they nearby? Can we see them? I can't help right now but feel anything but, and I would like to leaden this, trapped.
I mean, go outside, you just run the risk of getting yourself hurt, maybe. What do you think, Dad? How bad the storm's been recently?
It's bad enough to give your friend there some static. He just stares at Enter.
I say we go for a walk.
It's really weird when an in-game character stares at the player.
Well, we can all hear the static.
We return to 3D at this point, or 4D even.
It's safe to go out.
Indeed. It would be worth mentioning, and I'm going to look at Zyron. Sometimes taking damage from a effect may be inadvisable, like jumping off a very tall building, for example.
Yeah, who would do that?
I lived, and I knew I was gonna live,
But you don't have wings.
but I knew I was gonna live. And there was no faster way down. Not for me.
The point is,
You might leave, but it's still not a pleasant view for the rest of us. To worry
indeed, some
about
of
our
us.
safety.
Yes, I still have to stitch your thigh back together. But
Wait, hold on. Where did you even get this map? You said you were enlightened. What do you mean?
well, maybe him frosted is a better term.
I think he's
I'm gonna look
implying
over.
they got it from the Lady of Ice.
Yes, the
Yes.
Empress of Ice seems to have given us something. We'll look over Drazenka.
I had a shared vision last night.
The lady is dusting your path, as it seems.
Indeed, as she has been so far.
I am sad to say, I have yet to hear or see or feel anything from the lady since coming to this place. It is calming to know that it can still happen here.
It is hard to say why she wouldn't give signs to those other looking for it. Perhaps our mission has a sense of urgency that required some interference. More so than we ourselves anticipate.
Perhaps there is something else for me to be gathering here. Though my spell learning has yet to be complete, there's not much need for me to leave so soon.
The fact that you have found yourself here where wanted to arrive and have, well, found at least a way to get that what you're looking for should be, at least in my understanding, a sign enough that she has taken a shine on you. I have been on my own path for a long time, and she hasn't always been as obvious in her presence. Sometimes
Is there-
she's away longer,
Sorry, go on.
sometimes she gives only small little things to look forward to.
I ask something, and this may be, again, I apologise if this is a bit of a leap. Especially with what Drazenka said. The way that this seems to work is like ice thawing. It's slow, but steady. We know that moving stone is quite a high level spell. Is there any way to understand? And again, this may be a no. I realise this is a lot to ask. Is there any way to know if from Wake knows the spell inherently, or they have actually been given it by Shiva?
I don't think there'd be any way for you to tell.
Fair enough.
Excuse me. So are we heading out as soon as the storm is over?
We certainly have scholars to see. Unfortunately, Zarin. Well, no, fortunately for me. But Al has a few people they should probably see as well. The honest answer is it may not be too long after the storm, but it will be soon. I realise I may have made mistakes previously with our time.
What do you mean?
I mean, pretty good wartime, Master earlier. I just thought something was wrong, and that's on me. So, I apologise to all of you. But we're here now. And Drazenka, what do you think? Because that seems to me like it's a time issue.
Oh. Time issue or not, I do not really see a way to continue before the storm eases.
Yeah, but is there any way to understand how long storms normally last here?
I mean, Drogdon as well as Al did give you a rough range.
Yeah, so 2-3 days. And I think that's fair, but is that a common occurrence, or is that over a period of time?
There will be
What I'm
knowledge
trying
geography.
What I'm trying to be clear on, sorry, before I roll this, is does it seem like over a set period of time the storms are getting longer, or are they normally this long? Well, fuck me. Alright,
Storm to storm.
it is what it is.
As you finish up breakfast and have a quick gander at the closed up door and windows, It's quite a quiet ambiance outside.
How your opponents have moved?
Is the storm over?
Definitely sounds quiet out there. Feel free to open up the door and check.
Seems good.
How's the sky looking?
The skies are mostly clear, though on the horizon and slowly rolling away are dark clouds.
Oh, that's a relief. It'll last longer than that.
Wow. We should probably get moving.
As you make your way away from the chief's building, going up to the ledge of the mountain top that you're currently on, trying to find a zip line that'll take you to either Talira or Corin. You get a better look over the canyon. And whilst a lot of the zip lines have been severed in the storm, so them still stay up, and people are moving to repair them. However, something that's going to take a lot more repairs, and possibly faith, is the large Shiva icicle statue in the center of the canyon has been completely shattered apart. Only remains of the legs on the podium remain.
Drazenka kind of stops in her tracks with eyes wide and just grabs the snowflake on her neck.
We should look at that first.
Right.
I don't think Edwin saw that, but it's just a case of look. Maybe looking back, seeing it. Siren, now, do you mind a slight detour?
Lead the way.
Where do you plan on taking us?
Down there, to the feet.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to make your way down to the Shiva statue, or what remains of it, give me a climb check.
I won't bother 'cause
I
I got a
c-
climb speed.
I could use my Ring of Featherfall for this. Chocobo Fall.
There are no, like, zip lines that we could take.
Yeah, I thought it was a zip line down there.
Yes, there used to be, but they got destroyed in the storm.
Okay.
I think it would be a while to jump down there.
How long does your Featherfall last?
It only affects one person, so that's why I'm asking. Like, realistically, if it's a while for anyone, we're probably not going to do it.
I mean, it won't take too long to get down there with it.
Apparently I have a wand of levitate.
There is that.
So just cast that and then jump, right?
If you fall with levitate, I'm pretty sure it goes off and then turns into feather form. Or I might be thinking of a different spell that's similar.
Yeah, Feather Fall basically activates immediately after you fall more than 5 feet. So, what Drazenka is saying is probably more beneficial. Can do that.
Okay, levitate is a different spell. It just lets you
Yeah.
go up and down. You can't fly, so you won't be able to go down the mountain with levitate.
Yeah, doesn't help with that.
I can't remember if it was this character or if it was Orphi, but I think Orphi has some sort of thing with Featherfall.
Seeing the sort of shattered vestige of the statue, I'm going to put truth be told, probably everyone, like a hand on everyone, just say, look, last night, myself and Drazenka saw something. I'm going to look at Drazenka for like a nod of, is this okay to share?
She gives you a nod. She's
Sure
still
is
just
that.
staring at the shattered statue, though.
We saw a statue well, we saw a person shattering. We couldn't see it properly, but it stands to reason they fell apart from the head down. This seems to line up with that. Question is why? Why now? Why is it that after all these storms, after all this hardship, suddenly this massive Shiva statue crumbles?
It has been here for how long did Procton say? Months?
Months. Indeed.
And these storms are a frequent thing. Every few weeks, or every few days even. Isn't that right, Al?
That's correct.
It doesn't seem.
But
I have
this
no
isn't-
evidence here. Sorry, just go on.
No. That's the reason this wasn't its first storm. You'd ask the priests and the other Ronso if this is something that happens to it.
Indeed, we should speak to your Ronso. As much as I would like to go to the feet of Shiva, I think that finding out from your companions, or at least those of your faith, is the best place to be. This is blasphemy. Somehow.
If you want, Drazenka, I can get you down there real fast.
You want to go down there? Here. And I will give you the Ring of Featherfall if you want.
I'm Might be rusty, but I'm still somewhat used to climbing. I'll try the other route first. She'll just start climbing down.
I will look at Al and Siren. If you have the ability, go with her.
Okay, bye, and I leap off the cliff.
Fuck's sake. You just hear the faint, I'm not fixing that.
Everyone is able to make their way down the mountain without too much hassle, besides Zaire doing it fantastically.
Hero landing.
You
Oh,
break
there
it
is
to
no-
the least.
My tendons, oh god.
There is still full damage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there is
took-
the fact you
I
hear
took
hero
the
landing
damage.
and blood just flies out of your knees in like a vertical sheet.
Let's see how well Zaire tries to just seem okay. Hey. That's pretty good.
Are you trying to investigate the statue and how it broke?
Yeah, that's where Drazenka's heading.
Alright, if you want to do so, roll me survival.
Rolled an 8.
Looking over the remains of the icicle statue, as well as the podium and the ground around it, to your best guess, the statue was hit by a bolt of lightning, cutting through a large portion of it and having the rest fall down. And since it is just ice, and possibly weakened from the skull, it shattered when it hit the ground.
Possibly a weird question and something that I just don't know, but does it seem... I mean, I guess I wouldn't really know, but like, trying to see if it seems it would have been similar to how the figure in my dream shattered.
There wouldn't be too much way to know that, though.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. And I look around if there are any at the Shiva followers around.
A few of them are around trying to clean up the mess. Others are praying towards the legs of the statue.
She'll approach someone who's not in mid-prayer.
Can you believe it, sister? The statue, broken in the night. It's a terrible thing.
It truly is. Has this not happened before?
Not upon this scale, from my memory. We've normally had chips taken off of it, but nothing so drastic like this. We've not even lost a limb before.
And that is truly horrible.
Well, it'll take some time to repair, but repair it we will.
I wish to offer my aid, however we are in a time limit of our own. But I can at least bid you good luck in your endeavors.
Thank you, sister. We won't keep you if you are busy.
Feeling kind of horrible inside that she can't do much else, she'll return to the group. Sorry for leaving you so abruptly.
With all due respect, Drazenka, you have built bridges of ice. You have
Not alone.
reconstructed. Then can we not help? The four of us.
Well, we were given elsewhere to go. Well, not in this magnitude. The statue has taken a beating from a storm before. I have no doubt that the believers here can aid it.
Maybe. But if they gave us a vision, if we're going to travel anyway, is it not worth a try? At the very least.
Well, if you don't mind, I could possibly stay behind and help here if you lot rather look into the where we are going next and the map we saw would lead to. And I wouldn't want to keep Ao from reacquainting with her friends.
We do need to see your scholar now.
Or we can find her pretty quick. You sure you want to split off?
No. A body does not go far with its heart. But the heart goes where it wants. It's a
Then
choice.
let's go together. As I said, I'm sure the faithful here have it handled. They're the one who made this structure. They know more about it than me anyway.
Well, I've seen you carve a statue before. I'm sure that we can come back.
If there is time, and if they still need the aid, we'll see. But for now we have elsewhere to go. Lead the way out.
Start leading the way.
Where are you leading the way to?
We'll go to Tolera first, scholar.
Thankfully, one of the zip lines that did survive the storm goes up to the same area where you would think the skull would be located. Climbing or zipping up the line, you're able to make your way into the interior of a very large, you could call it library. Several large globes hug the walls, with even larger telescopes and magnifying glasses. The cawing of birds could be heard, as well as the fluttering of pages, as it seems a few people were either trapped in here or quickly came here in the morning. Rows upon rows of bookshelves fill the room with both the sight of knowledge and the smell of paper, parchment, and dried ink. A person in long brown robes approaches you, though it's easy to tell who they are from the tail at their hind and the wings on their back.
welcome home, Al. Was expecting to see your face around here, especially not in such company.
Ah, hello, Talira. Yes, this is my party. I shall let them introduce themselves. Everyone, this is Talira.
Hi there, I'm Zarin.
Pleasure to meet you. Drazenka Vierach.
And I am Edwin Smithson, a medic.
Well, as Al just introduced, I am Talira. I'm a scholar within Shadowrock Hollow. I also know quite a bit about our refuges and enclaves, as well as a lot about the dragon spine and our history. Are you here just for a catch-up, Al, or are you needing some knowledge of the books? I'm sure your friend Edwin would prefer to read them than you.
Yeah, I'm not so much into reading, as you know. But I know that we're looking for some information that, well, I pointed these guys to you. You're the one that knows most of the stuff around here.
I'm sure you won't be able to understand half the words in the books anyway.
Probably.
Well, what are you wanting information on?
There are a number of things. This map here, and I'll show the map that myself and Drazenka put together with Zarin. Where does this lead in your domain?
The landmarks and elevation definitely seem like they would be mountainous, but I don't recall seeing this in any of our tomes. You might be better off asking Corin. He normally looks at maps far often than I do, especially since he has to walk on whatever they have drawn.
I see.
Well, the reason we're here is we're searching for hollow lilies. Do you have any information on them?
Hollow lilies. Yes. I do believe I've read about that. Would you care to wait a moment as I fetch some books?
Yeah. How about I wait here with you and Edwin and Drazenka? You could go without to find their other friend with the maps. And split up a little bit.
I'd rather you came with us, Zarin, but if you wish to wait.
Well, we can get more done a little bit faster this way. I don't mind waiting for information. If you guys want to go check out the map person.
Finding Corin may be an issue, but what I will say is that from what... It may be best if you are going to suggest a split up, that myself and you stay here. Al and Drazenka would go and speak with Corin.
That's fine with me too.
The truth of the matter is that I am better at reading a map from a geography sense. However, these two are much better from a survival perspective.
Or we could all try to get everybody to meet back up at Al's parents' house.
We'll probably have to reconvene anyway, so.
Indeed,
Are
if
you-
you have any issues.
This way, splitting up wouldn't hurt.
Are you okay with that, miss?
Yes. It'll take a bit of time for you to find the book in question, I'm pretty sure.
Alright, I'll stay here with you and help. I'm sure you know this town better than I do. You could get back to the chief's house better than I can, but And then Edwin, you'd want to stay here with me?
Splitting up more than 2 per 2 seems like a bad idea.
That's fine. Al, would you mind taking Drazenka to your other friend, Corin?
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
As soon as Al's out of earshot, Zaire's gonna be asking about hilarious stories and embarrassing things that Al has done in the past.
She will relinquish all of the tales of when Al fell down the mountains and was attempting to learn how to glide.
Beautiful things.
Static!
Sorry, the button on my mute button on my headset is very, very finicky, and if I touch it, it just statics. Not even trying to push it. I was just trying to adjust my headset. It just went.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
I apologize.
As you two scan for the book, the rest can go find Corin. Sadly, there are no zip lines to get to him, but with everything you have on you, you can climb your way there. Edwin is typing. Coming up to a building that has not much on the exterior, possibly due to the storms, but just inside the foyer is several mounds of rope grappling hooks, pythons, and the like, as well as very large boards manning the wall with differing maps on them. A rather ruffled individual walks out from a nearby room as they hear you enter. Ah, Al! Returned to us, have you? How was the busy trips away from the dragon's spine?
All good. I see you haven't really ventured far outside the dragon's spine.
Just because I'm here now doesn't mean I'm here all the time.
Uh-huh. I didn't picture you for the adventuring type, besides the times we went out. I thought you were gonna go be blacksmith.
People kept asking me to be one, but I'd rather be outside, moving and grooving.
Oh, sorry. This is Drazenka. Drazenka, this is Corin.
Pleasure to meet you, Corin.
And to you. Though, probably a poor choice in friend there, Al. She definitely dwarfs your size.
Now, what have we said about mentioning height?
Well, I think if we stack 3 of you on top of each other, it might just reach Drazenka's height.
Al's just gonna...
Thief.
Al's just gonna, poke Corin in the stomach with the hilt of her axe. Oh, Drazenka here has a map we were hoping you could have a look at.
Yes, we understand you are. Well, you know the area quite well. We're wondering if you could help us understand where this map might lead us to. When I assume Edwin gave us the map. I hope.
If you were actively saying we're going to go and check out the map, I would hand it over.
Yeah.
Which you did, so I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been through this place a few times. It's a well-trodden path, though I've not seen people aside from myself and those I guide through it. A lot of the snow is always compacted as if there's been a parade going through there. I can mark it on your map where it is.
That would be most helpful. Thank you. Is it far from here?
A couple days walk? As it is there.
And as another question, since you venture out there frequently, understand, have you encountered any of the roaming Ronso tribes? Or the Vierach tribe in particular?
I don't always get their names, but there's been quite a few scary rumors about Ronso in the mountains, and rather than risk it, I've just been kind of avoiding them. I see a lot of them in big groups in the mountains.
What type of rumors?
A lot of rough and tumble sorts. Apparently they get into killing people in the mountains and taking their stuff.
Right, thank you. We'll be careful then.
Anything else I can help you two with?
Don't think so, as long as you've mentioned everything you know about that path. Not really any ambush points or anything like that where we could potentially get ambushed from.
Unless they're flying creatures, it'd be very hard to ambush you on the mountains. Unless they've dug into it.
True. You haven't seen any monsters lurking about near there?
Oh yes, but I know where a lot of the monsters like to nest, so I'd move around them. You might find Zoo and Garuda around there.
Isn't Garuda
I've also
the
seen a lot
deity?
of... no, there's also a type of bird now called Garuda as well.
Oh, okay.
I've also seen quite a bit of, I'm just gonna say they're probably dragons, drakes, what have you, in the skies, but as long as you don't make yourself a nuisance, I don't think they'd swoop down to get you.
It's good to hear. We've seen quite a few dragons heading northeast. Know of anything that's potentially causing them to go that way?
Nothing that comes to mind, but there's been an increasing amount of them heading north, northeast, what have you.
How often would you say you see them?
I probably see 3 or 4 every time I go out on a scouting trip. I normally only used to see them about once a month, if that.
Does he seem to be migrating or something?
Dragons don't really migrate. They normally make their home and stay there.
Well, if there's nothing else we can think of, our business here is done for the moment.
I believe so. Nothing really comes to my mind.
Well, thanks for your help, Corin. We need you. We know where to find you.
I'll keep my eyes low, see if you're on your approach.
I was going to smack a hilt of her axe on his toe.
You're definitely short enough to.
Thank you, Corin. It was nice to meet you.
Yep. And you. Oh.
After some time passes, Talira will come back with a rather large book in her hand. Its spine is almost scaled and ends in a claw, and a dragon's horned head at the top. I thought I read it in this. It's in a dragon term, one of the history books, I guess you could say. No, it's on this page. Yes. Dragon's Naught Breath Toxin, also known as Hollow Lily Flower. It was used hundreds of years ago to fell dragons by those who couldn't kill them otherwise. Most of it was destroyed after it was found out to be a potent poison. Only the dragon's spine holds it anymore, guarded by dragons and nomads. And to my recollection, we have another depiction of this in one of our history books for the founding of Scanrock Hollow. Saloknir felled a dragon, and it seems we are to be believed he used Dragon's Naught Breath Toxin to do so. He then ate the flesh of the dragon, gained the ability to change into them, and has protected the flower in a vault if it was ever to be needed again ever since.
Huh. Where did you say that was at? In a vault here or somewhere else?
I'm afraid any mention of location of the vault, it does exist. It's a very well guarded secret. Probably told in stories, but they're not told anymore.
Okay.
Any particular reason you're looking for this Dragon's Naught Breath Toxin?
Well, we don't have any nefarious plans, if that's what you're asking. Our friend... I'm assuming that Edwin has got his nose buried in a book somewhere else.
No, Edwin's there. They're going to say, look, this may sound insane. We were given a vision by Shiva, myself and Drazenka, of a use for the hollow lily flower to save my mother from some kind of disease or infection. I don't know what that disease or infection is, unfortunately. I'd like to, but I can't. And as Zayon has very heroically said, we know it is dangerous. It's a difficult thing to give up. And now I think we begin to understand why that may be. And I must ask myself, is one life worth that? Even if it means a lot to me.
But yeah, essentially we're planning on making medicine from it.
Nothing in this tome says this hollow lily flower can be turned into a medicine, but then this is a history book on dragons. I guess it's just not been a healing thing for dragons. It's possible there's mention of it somewhere else in the books here, but this is the most recent thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
If it's used for medicine, I guess it's used up. It won't have any issue after that, as long as you only take enough for the person.
Yeah. Brenna is the one that kind of sent us out this way. So we aren't, like, we have great respect for dragons. I personally am from a dragon named Karthurra's domain. And we've come quite a ways to get over here to hopefully prevent people from dying, so.
Well, if a dragon told you where to get this, I suppose it's fine. I mean, they know you might have it in your possession.
Yeah. Hopefully we just don't come across any random dragons that take offense to us having it.
I think the more important issue here is there may be dragons who wish to obtain it, or entities to negate or kill a dragon. Because from what you've said, if there's a poison powerful enough to harm or kill potentially a dragon, then of course Brenna's blessing is fantastic, it's good, it's promising. But it just means to be very careful. And the question does arise, we can be careful as we want to be, or we can simply not pursue the issue. We should see the others.
Well, I hope I gave you what you were looking for.
As much as we could hope for.
And the party can reconvene outside the chief's house, because I think that was where Edwin said you were going to meet.
Yeah.
We were able to identify the location. It is some distance away, but should be reachable. Well, how about you two? Did you learn more about the flower?
Yeah, apparently it's a powerful dragon toxin. So it's not surprising why certain entities don't want it to be out and about.
Which does beg the question.
How do you mean?
If this is a powerful dragon toxin, and I would love this to be a simple fix. I can cure my mother of a disease I don't know they even have yet.
Well,
But
we know the flower can be either one. Isn't
it
that what
can.
someone learned in Heartburn? Depending on
I
how you
know.
prepare it, it can be either a poison or a curative.
Most medicines are. It's the nature of the world. What I'm struggling with now is the ramifications of it. Even the Nox Cradle cure had a limited effect. If we even get 2 of these, 2 Hollow Lilies, and we use 1 for this cure, and someone else gets a hand on the other and it kills. Let's pull this out of a hat. Karthurra. What if it kills Karthurra? Or Brenna? Or Givren 10th? What am I supposed to do when that happens? Because, truth be told, I'm not here to burn the world for this.
No one is claiming as such.
Of course they aren't, but we can't simply walk in. This is a... Maybe this is the right word in setting, sorry. This could be a nuclear option.
Well, our plan is not to take the flowers necessarily, right? Is it possible we could just make the cure and then leave the rest of the flowers and not even take just the flowers?
The vision demands at least 1 there.
Well, the demand may have only been a hint to help you identify the flower.
Then give me something concrete.
Well, now you know where to find it. I
Do you know?
And what,
do
and what
agree
happens?
this is clearly important if this is something Solaknir sealed away. So we just have to make sure that it does not fall into wrong hands. Only take what we need and be on our way.
Very easy to say, but you're right. Maybe this works out. Maybe the sunshine and rainbows approach happens, and we leave with 1 and everything's fine. I realize how hypocritical I am sounding now. I understand what it sounds like. What I can't do is save my mother to damn hundreds, if not thousands.
Who's to say it's only your mother?
And here we hit it. Here we hit the meat of the issue. All we have done in months of travel is on thought. We have nothing concrete to go by. Dreams and hope and the possibility of icy footsteps in our fucking helltail robes. We came here because we drank a cup, Drazenka. Zaire and Al, you know this. We've spoken to it. A cup. A cup of icy water half a world away.
My question to you is this, Edwin. Do you want to be proactive and see this through? Or do you want to leave it up to chance and fate and maybe it doesn't happen, maybe it does?
Then I return the question to you, Zaire. Say we are proactive. Say we pull this hollow lily from its moorings and we save one life and kill 1,000. Are you willing to have that on your conscience? Are any of you?
If anything bad ever happens, it would not be on our conscience.
How will it not?
Are you going to be the one to make that toxin and kill a dragon with it?
Of course I don't want to. The
Then
fact of
don't
the
do
matter
it.
is,
Then you
then
do
how-
not do it. If somebody else, I do not know, hijacks us and takes the flower, that is on them. We will do our best to stop it. We have our own reasons to get the flower, and it is not for anything nefarious, even, well, not Brenna, but
I see where you're all coming from, and I do mean it. I'm just... Fine. I have one last point to make, and then, fine. We move on. I stop being maybe melodramatic about this. Drazenka, what is the alignment of your god? Tell me that. Are they a god of good and benefit to all, or are they a god of blizzards, storm, and ice?
she is a neutral goddess.
And who have we been getting these visions from?
I believe it to be her. And that is reason enough for me to see through to it.
My issue is not with
For me, clearly this is something much, well, no offense or anything, but something bigger than your mother, Edwin.
Maybe it is, and that's my point. Maybe the choice here isn't to save them, and it pains me to think of it. But is one life worth this? What you've described is a poison that can kill a deity. A local deity. It's huge. I don't think you understand the gravity of this.
You said it yourself, many things can be either curatives or poisons, depending on how they are used.
If we fuck this up, it's just...
We have extra dimensional spaces, don't we?
We do.
So why don't we just make the curatives while we're here? As many as we think we are going to need. Put them in extra dimensional spaces. I mean, the dragons know what we're doing.
Extra dimensional spaces do not stop time, Zaire. They still exist there. If our cure lasts a day, and it degrades into a poison the next day, we have no idea of knowing.
Well, that is... do not really know how that works.
No, we don't.
Did you not... I thought we found out that there are two very different ways to prepare it, depending on which one you want to make.
And what happens if we get it wrong? And then we'll just lay this out. There's a very...
You were told before you have to, you can't accidentally make the poison variant. You have to want to make the poison variant to make it. If you fail,
Okay.
you
There's
don't
very
make a curative.
Specific
I know
ways to make it, depending on which one you want to go for. And you can't make it by accident. Either way.
Okay.
You have to be intentional. You can fuck it up, but not make it poisonous.
Yeah, I know there was I know we've said this before in the sense of there's paths to it. Edwin's just concerned about the fact that maybe it's just slight out of character. Making it is pretty a roll. Potentially it's a roll, right? It's a bit like making any medicine. You can make something worse. You can distill it into something worse, and it's more a case of what happens after the case. But you're right. You're right.
The other question we might want to ask or figure out is how long a dose will last.
Yeah. I think we learned that the flower itself doesn't last very long.
But again, there are very powerful beings who know what we're doing and are probably watching over us in ways that we cannot really imagine.
And my concern is there are probably very powerful beings that we don't know who are probably watching over what we're doing. If we open this door,
I trust the dragons to have our back. They know
What
what
about-
we're doing.
The library looked extensive. We spent more time here to help us understand it before we searched for it.
fine then. I suppose I'm just playing devil's advocate here, and I should just leave it alone.
As you've said it so often, Edwin, this at least in part is your journey. You wish to abandon it. I will not stop you. That is entirely up to you. We have all come this far. We do not have to continue. If you do not.
Also want to continue. Voice drops very low. Of course. I just worry about the consequences. Opening Pandora's vault to pull a single cure from a weapon of an arsenal of weapons is a hard thing to understand or grasp. That's all.
Well, this is a very well protected vault. So, as long as we don't do anything to try to propagate these flowers or anything like that, there's not likely to be anybody else who gets in. So,
And
we
The
may be
Naga.
opening the door, but we still had to follow the whole path to get here. And somebody else would have to follow the same path.
we still need the key for it.
Yes, and we've
That's also
told
true.
the Naga about the key in the map. We had to. Do you think they would give up the chance to poison the dragons? Can you imagine a world where Gifren 10th is dead, killed by the toxin in this vault, and they have the seas? This
all
is the
it
gravity I'm
takes-
talking about.
If all it takes is a dead dragon to gain powers of transformation similar to how Solaknir gained it, they already have one. They have
Not of
Hurikstram.
not of the power. Hurikstram was a deadly foe, don't get me wrong, but imagine if that was Karthurra.
We would not be standing here today if that was Karthurra.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. If they have the ability to kill a dragon of that power, that level of majesty, and frankly, deific ability, what happens then? That is what I'm trying to wrestle with, and I do understand where you're coming from, I do. And I want it to be true, I do. But what is the choice? Do we let one person live or kill thousands?
I think the only morally correct choice here is to try to save the one person. We're not out to harm anybody we're not going to let that happen to the best of our abilities. And fear in and of itself is irrational.
We are here
I
to save
suppose.
someone. What happens beyond that is not on us.
I suppose the
agree.
road to Hades' domain is paved on good intention.
And as I said, if you think the risk is too much, you can walk away anytime.
I
You
know.
are not shackled on this path.
Maybe. Maybe not. I apologize. Maybe I'm thinking too much. I just want... I want my mother to live. I just don't want the price to be someone else's life. That's all. But you're right. Maybe I'm just being dramatic.
I do understand the worry, Edwin. It is a lot of responsibility after what we just learned. But such is life. There are choices, there are consequences.
Indeed.
From my experience, you usually regret more the inaction rather than the action. Things you didn't do, things you didn't say.
All that is required for evil to win is for a good man to do nothing.
Indeed. We can quote philosophy to each other for hours.
You are the one who started with the morality.
I thought you would. But you're right.
How does Al feel about opening up Soloknir's vault?
But you're right. I was actually about to ask Al about this. This is your home. And the truth is, if you open the vault, you do open this possibility.
I open this possibility, but if we're open to Soloknir's vault, I'd like to run it past my dad. I mean, he is the village chief, therefore he is the protector of the vault.
Oh. We would have to anyway, he's the one with the key.
So then why are we standing outside of his door and not going inside?
Because
Just we'd
it's
have to
better
make
to go
sure
in.
there's a good enough reason for it. He's a man that's going to take a lot of convincing. He's not simply
Indeed.
just going to take my word on it. He needs to have your guys' full back behind it. Edwin,
Need
if
to
you
be
want to go
You're right.
into
front for this.
it, you've got to go into it without anything.
Reservations without
Yeah. Anything in wavering your decision.
you've
You
got
won't
to
take anything lighthearted.
I don't take anything lighthearted, which is why I've raised the questions I have. And you've given me good answers. So I can go in there with a positive outlook. Because I can assure you the questions I've asked today will not be dissimilar to the questions they pose.
Absolutely.
Eh.
As for opening Soloknir's vault, a lot of my determination is coming from him. My power to be able to transform is descendant from him. The more I could learn about it, the better. The stronger I could become.
So Edwin kind of slaps himself in the face a little bit, just to kind of pull himself together a bit. Well then.
Zaire straightens his clothing, stands up as tall as he can, back straight. Well, Al, it's your home. I would knock, but
Indeed.
Al opens the door and walks in.
And as you walk in, there's a big fat loading bar, and it says estimated time around 2 weeks.
well,
As we will end the session there.